Warning, the voices heard in this video are made synthetically using artificial intelligence. Nothing in this video reflects anything actually stated by the real-life individuals involved. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and serious political content will be avoided for that purpose. Enjoy!
Flemeth once told me that temptation...
Oh, who's a good boy?
in the forbidden...
Viewers, you already know I'm rich, and even though I won the presidential pitch, there is still something missing and empty in my life like a ditch.
Do not follow me.
So it's time I find my beloved swamp witch.
So goddamn, that might be the best one yet. Good shit, Donald.
I don't know why I am always the one bringing this up, but aren't we missing one person here?
You know, Bill, you're right. Where the hell is Sleepy? He's gonna miss me. Banging Morrigan for the next hour. Barack, you're his boyfriend. Where is he at?
For the last time, we are not dating, but to answer your question, he never said it out loud, but he was rather hurt about you skipping his Liliana song special. So I think this is his way of protesting you.
What a little bitch. He's missing out on the best ending to a series and game in all of YouTube, but his loss...
Well, hey, you got your resident DM and also man's best friend on your side, Donald. That should count for something.
I'm here too, George.
Goddamn, I was really trying to forget you were Billy Boy.
Great, I have Barack, hornier Barack, and the Steel Beam Melter Dungeon Master. Let's get it.
I will take the compliment, I suppose, so let's get into some lore.
Also, here lies the site of my second greatest triumph, killing Flemeth at level 10.
I assume the greatest triumph was winning the presidency twice?
No, it was banging Morrigan live in front of the viewers. The presidency was like third.
This is exactly how Monica would sneak into my office, too, boys.
Still recording for YouTube, dumbass.
What are you doing here?
Oh, hold on, boys. Who is this absolutely lovely lady?
Oh, hey, Joe, this is Ariane, our Dalish warrior companion for this expansion.
Wait, Ariane, like Grandy?
No, you noob, different spelling, still just as bad, though.
That's my man, Bill. Well, it's not like I can trust Donald to treat a lady this fine, right? So I guess I better sit down and make sure she is taken care of.
Yeah, whatever, Sleepy, come sit down in your chair while you still can. I guess it's not like I wanted you here or anything.
Well, the paragon of the Sundar strikes again.
I have no idea what a Sundar is, but it sounds appropriate to Donald for some reason.
I hate all you weebs so much.
Thanks for the invite, Donald. Glad you cared double D. Also, boys, you made sure to name our Mabari bow. I don't want people to think this is some random Mabari. This is POTUS's one and true good boy.
Already done, Joe. We will always honor our goat bow, and ending the game with him is an amazing tribute.
I'm sure some people may have forgotten, almost 30 episodes later, but Bo is a tribute to Barry's former presidential dog, who sadly went to the Great Farm in the sky 3 years ago. F in chat for Bo everyone.
So wait, Morrigan is our base dwarf's girlfriend, but she also befriended and stole a book from Ariana Grande here. What is the lock on her morality? It seems all over the place.
Her morality is based, George. She is on a grind set for mirrors that you could never understand.
So we're on a hunt for witches and mirrors? First we were playing Mario Sunshine with color shifting, and now we are in a goddamn Disney movie. If the dog starts talking and singing Bel Nate, I'm leaving.
No, Bo won't do that, but I can whip out my accordion and do my own rendition if you want, George.
I'm absolutely the fuck not.
I'll jam with you later, Joey, but for now we should be focused on the plot in front of us. A magical mirror might sound very Disney-coded, Georgie, but I assure you these things don't tell who the fairest one of all is. They actually are transportation devices that allow you to easily walk through one mirror to the other, easily teleporting you around the country in minutes.
These mirrors also help tie into what would eventually be the most impactful lore implications in the series, and the Illuvians play a significant role in your game, Veilguard.
Oh, this is set up for Veilguard. Let's go now, I'm invested. I just started playing a rogue in that game, but I haven't gotten far. I think I might switch to a mage before I progress any further.
Oh, my sweet summer child, don't ever change, Georgie. I still have no goddamn interest in that game, but maybe I will pop in for a waifu tier list or Dead Space in the future, boys.
Donald, what are you looking around Flemeth's hut for? We got to go to the Circle Tower with my mage brethren.
Where's Mommy Morrigan?
Is he being serious?
Donald, the title for this mission was Witch Hunt. Why would we find the witch in question in the first 5 minutes?
Wait, are you serious? I don't just get to see her immediately. I have to actually look for her.
Wait, did you actually think this DLC was just an hour of you banging Morrigan? I thought that was a joke.
God damn it, now I'm blue-balled. And these dark spawn fucks are gonna pay for it.
Wait, these are Darkspawn. They look a little different from Veilguard.
Yeah, this is their original look, George, and unfortunately this DLC is the last time we will see them like this before they go through an identity crisis every game.
Let's not talk about it too much here. We will have an unedited dapping spree next episode, I'm sure, when Donald meets them.
Goddamn, that fight was the most one-sided battle I think we have had in the series. One thing you gotta say about Witch Hunt, is since you are supposed to take it on last, it's a goddamn victory lap around Ferelden.
Yeah, the game developers proved their point to Sniper God X Feet Lover with Umdrak, so it's all smooth sailings from here, Donnie.
So besides the lore about Alluvians, my other favorite aspect of the lore in this DLC is that since this takes place about a year after the Blight, we can read some excerpts from each of the major towns in Ferelden about how they are post-Blight, for example. Lothering and Danerum, who were hit hardest during the Blight, are just now recovering a year later, with Lothering even erecting a statue of POTUS. Redcliffe is thriving now under the leadership of Glorious Araltegan and is expected to rival Danerum in a few years economically, which we do see in Inquisition and Orzammar, thanks to all the support the Surface has given the dwarves in addition to POTUS and his brother King Bellin running things, has seen Orzammar thrive now more than ever as well.
That's what I love to see base dwarves in their base cities stay winning.
You have a Dalish elf with you.
Is that a problem?
So from what I remember, the two origins that play a significant role in this DLC is Circle Mage and Dalish Elf. If you are a Circle Mage, you can ask why we have never met Hadley here before, to which he will answer that he is actually from Amaranthine, but was sent to reinforce the Circle after the Blight left the Templars low on men. I also think he's supposed to be Cullen's replacement, since Cullen would have been sent to Kirkwall, promoted by now.
Girl is laying on the race card way too goddamn thick here. It's like it's her whole personality.
Don't diss my girl like that, Double D.
I'm a level with you behind the scenes. Hadley is only in this expansion because we couldn't get Brian George, and we wanted to tease the fact that Cullen was gone and going to appear again in Dragon Age 2.
Makes sense. I imagine all the voice acting budget went into the other companion we will meet. Something that always bothered me, though, is even if you give the Circle their independence at the end of Origins, Hadley and some other Templars will still be here. Why the hell are they here? Shouldn't they be letting the Circle govern themselves?
Why the hell do you care? Let the mages stay locked up sleepy.
Well, Dragon Age 2 does give some insight to this. Alistair lets the mages govern themselves, but it comes with major blowback from the rest of the Chantry around the world. I think in order to appease the Chantry, the Templars are appointed to guard the tower, but they have lost most of their authority as prison guards and instead just taken hands-off guard. Approach is sort of a compromise to the Chantry.
Yeah, stop jerking it to the lore and bow our heads in silence to the young lord.
Oh, who is this cool little guy he seems?
Shut the fuck up, George, and bow your head in reverence.
Or just humor him, George, it's the only way.
Praise be the Lord and Savior of enchantment, amen. I am glad our Lord respects the mighty warrior bow as well.
One of my favorite moments with Sandal is in Dragon Age 2, where Bodan reveals that Sandal learned to speak Mabari from Bohir, and he can now talk to Hawk's Mabari as well.
Speaking of Dragon Age 2, that does bring up a massive plot hole with Sandal. The first act of Kirkwall takes place a year after the Blight. But Witch Hunt also takes place a year after the Blight, and it can take several weeks by ship to reach Kirkwall from Ferelden. So realistically, Sandal shouldn't be here, even though it's nice to see him.
Our young lord is so powerful you really don't think he hasn't unlocked instant transmission? He clearly teleported here to give us his blessing, then zeroed in on Hawk's power level to go and assist him next.
Okay, I am confused as hell. Is this due to God, a mage, or a joke character? What the hell is going on?
Enchantment.
I give up. There's some things man wasn't meant to understand.
Well, viewers always make sure to check out Sandal's store here. Before progressing, he not only has skill tombs and rare items, but he has unique runes that appear nowhere else in the game, besides crafting like the Momentum rune, which increases weapon attack speed.
Crazy how attack speed runes didn't make their way into Dragon Age 2 either, especially since Sandal does have them here.
From what I understand, the game developers already were breaking the engine with how fast they attack in 2, so attack speed runes caused too many crashes for 2011 laptops.
That's amazing, because you could run the high-definition version of 2 and Origins on the Switch, which has the memory of a toaster, but somehow a PC port is too demanding.
Damn, we really came full circle. The joke was from episode 1, back when we hotboxed before playing and talked slow as shit.
Wait, you two were high that whole goddamn time. I was nervous as hell preparing note cards for the viewers, and you two got high instead.
Guilty as charged for that one, but here's a practice that probably no viewer has ever done in their life, unless they are as old as Joe and George. Using a goddamn library catalog, I'm pretty sure this was a foreign concept, even in 2010. Imagine putting this in a game today.
Yes, it is outdated, but that's the point of a fantasy world, Bill, isn't it? Viewers, let us know if you have ever taken a trip to your local library, because that is essentially what POTUS has to do here. You can, of course, go straight to the Elven History section, then the Elven Language Translation section to translate the book and move on, but there's actually more lore shoved into this library about future titles than any other section in the game.
This is pretty interesting. As a dungeon master, are all these books in the library readable, or are they just given as short summaries because I know which one I would do?
Oh God, here comes the book gooning, and this was supposed to be the sexiest of the three specials.
It's a canon event.
They're all given summaries in the interest of development time, but all the lore here is reflective of the two main writers of Witch Hunt, Gator and Hepler. So Gator is, of course, the creator of this world and often kept all the expanded lore knowledge in his own head somehow. Hepler, on the other hand, is much better at fleshing out and refining the little details, since she is credited for the Orzammer section of Dragon Age and most of Dragon Age 2. It's likely Gator gave her a few flashcards for the books here and Hepler went nuts with them. Some of the highlights here is a book called Hammers and History, talking about the First Inquisition and even describing the symbol that would later be used in the third game, Inquisition. A book about Tevinter soldiers surviving a Vardal attack, which we'll see later. There's also a book about the Qunari philosopher Khoslan, and a book about the Circle Tower in Kirkwall's history, both of which are extremely relevant to Dragon Age 2's main story.
Which again is a massive L that you are doing Velgard instead of Dragon Age 2, but hay-based Bill is just a guest cameo, right? There's also a lot of funny jokes in these books, most notably in the Spirit section. The Spirit Healer book has been drawn on by Anders and references a Templar eating cat by the name of our goat Sir Pounce-a-Lot. There's also some digs at Harry Potter asking why mages would ever use wands instead of staffs, and finally a book called Does It Have Griffins in It?, which references a line your warden can ask in the base game.
Wait, so if Hepler wrote about the base dwarven city, does that mean she wrote Amgarak too?
No, George, that's probably why Amgarak had such little lore impact towards the story of Orzammer. They didn't have the Queen of the Dwarves in the writing room when they wrote it. I think if Hepler did help write this, there would have been far more lore fragments we could have picked up.
This mage here is the living embodiment of you nerds, and I almost forgot we had to have a damn robe following us around in this expansion.
Hey man, leave my man Finn alone. He bags a 10 out of 10 Dallas girl by the end of this expansion, and he is voiced by Sasuke Uchiha. Admittedly, though, BioWare really has my man Yuri voicing the most cowardly characters in the game. Both in Mass Effect 2 as Morden's cowardly assistant, and here is a mage with a slight case of mysophobia.
Don't you say that shit again, because Yuri also voices our Lord and Savior Sandal, which means Sandal can pull out a Susano anytime he wants.
Donald of Sandal shares a voice actor with him. That means you gotta give Finn some respect too, you know.
No, I really don't. He is a mage. And our Lord of Enchantment doesn't need magic to do his divine works. Mages are simply heretical pretenders.
So the Imperium sacking Arlathan and taking the Illuvians is the first major plot point here that is insanely relevant to Velgard for those of you keeping track with your bingo card. Secondly, the Dalish clan Ariane mentions here is, of course, the Dalish Elf Wardens clan that we will meet in Dragon Age 2. If we are a Dalish Elf, we can have plenty of unique dialogue during this expansion, which I will cover when it comes up.
This also is another example of how all the origins actually do happen at the same time, but the only saving grace of each of the Wardens is Duncan.
I'm sure POTUS would have made a life clearing out the whole deep roads of Darkspawn if we hadn't met Duncan.
The cope is insane.
So we got a dog, a human mage, and an elf warrior. This party is probably the most underwhelming of the three I've seen so far, since there's no base dwarf party member. BioWare is truly fumbling here with that one.
Georgie, here glazing the dwarf bros harder than a servant cast girl trying to get with a noble house.
So Donald, before you do the basement section, I ask that you do 3 small errands in this library to show some hidden quests for the viewers.
Barack, you're really out here trying to delay me seeing Mommy Morrigan? Why the hell would I care about book hunting?
One of the quests gives you a free 8 gold.
Ooh, shit, getting your bag up. Say goddamn less, Obama, where am I going?
I can't believe the Jedi mind trick that happened in Episode 2 happened here, and worst of all, it worked a second goddamn time.
Hey, we get more library fun times to expand the lore. This is far more engaging than the full combat session last episode.
So Donald, the first unmarked quest is over by the School of Entropy shelf by the index. You pick up the book Controlled Destruction, and you will find someone hollowed it out with a small statue and a note. Apparently a mage was being blackmailed, and the statue will reveal the final blackmail payment in the apprentice quarters. We can grab that at the end. This is the money side of things. I grabbed your favorite one first.
That's my boy Obama. What's next?
Well, this one's for all the Mabari lovers out there. Since I know we kind of neglected a lot of his scenes in the base game, go over to the index and find the book on raising nugs, which will unlock the zoology section. It's important to note that the most recent index you select are the only ones that stay active except for the elven artifacts for the main quest, so you do have to use the index to find most of these.
Zoology, huh? Not my preferred search history term, boys, but hey, when in Rome.
God damn it, Billy boy, can you not be horny for 5 seconds, you goddamn gooner?
Come over here and make me Georgie.
Would you two just bang and get it over with already? Anyways, Barack, I'm here. What do I pick?
Thank you, Donald. Go ahead and select the book on Mabari, and it will trigger a small scene with Bo. He can tell that we are reading about him and wants the book for himself, which we can give to him seemingly permanently.
He's such a good boy.
Bo wants to read about himself. That's fucking adorable BioWare in their bag with a dog companion.
All right, I can't lie. That might have made mine and the viewers' day. What's the last errand you want to do, Barack?
All right, this one might be a little complicated. You need to go to the index and select Kindling the Flame to unlock the Mage training section. In the Mage training section, read the Hexes book, which will unlock the self-improvement section in the corner here. And from there, you read the book, The Willpower Workout, and you will hear a wind sound effect after reading it. Once you read it, a willpower essence will spawn in the library entrance, just like the one that appears in the Fade section, increasing our willpower by 1 point.
That's it. We are almost max level with stats well over 100, and we are here reading books for 1 skill point. Goddamn, the Circle Tower is lame as hell. At least we made Bo happy.
Well, I thought it was a nice tip of the hat to mage players, and all of this is like a simpler summoning sciences quest, so that's cool.
I actually didn't even know that was here, so good job, Barack. I admit it's underwhelming for this late in the game. But hopefully you inspired one Dragon Age player to replay Witch Hunt for some of these scenes.
You know, I saw comments about people not knowing about the dragon in the Orzammer throne room even 15 years later, so I'm sure I probably taught at least 1 or 2 viewers something. Anyway, once again, the Circle Tower basement is infested with spirits, and it's harshing the Sentinel's vibe, so we have to take care of that. And that includes another discount Inquisition battle sequence.
Once again, the Ferelden Templars are sucking at actually doing their job, and they wonder why shit like the Uldred plot and Joan's escape happened. My God, I hope whoever replaces Gregor whips these cowards into shape. Thankfully, we have the Templar god POTUS here to take care of things.
This is the kind of job we are perfect for, and I also love the fact that we don't need an ancient elven artifact like the Anchor when POTUS has the pure concentrated power of these hands.
Sort of like how you play Isaac Clarke, I guess, Joey.
Look, I already said the backhand has more stopping power than the actual space guns. It's called efficiency.
Well, it's good to see you finally mixing up your play style, Joe. I swear to God, if I had to see you roll up your 10th board or mage, I was going to do a backflip from the Oval Office windows. Also, to add on to the fact that we are in a Disney movie, we now have magic mirrors and talking statues. I'm keeping a counter for those at home.
That's fine, George. I'm keeping a future game relevancy counter. For those at home, you play your metagame and I will play mine.
I wish both of you would just play with my nuts instead and hop off the lore.
Bet Donald, go ahead and whip it out.
Abby, pause.
Oh my God, just end me already. Let's just watch POTUS kick ass. So viewers, the goal here is to fight the Sentinels until the Red Veil Tear appears. That's the thing you actually have to kill, since the Sentinels are immortal. Once you kill the Veil Tear, the fight ends and the Sentinels go back to normal.
I like to think because of how easily Jowan and the Mage Warden clapped up the Sentinels in the Origin, the Templars upgraded them after to prevent further break-ins. We already see the impacts of Jowan's break-in. As Finn tells us, they move all the phylacteries to a more secure area.
That's a solid theory. Also, Barack fighting Veil Tears. That's a 3rd Inquisition counter for you after Alluvians and the Inquisition symbol in the library.
Oh, goddamn you, Bill.
Oh, good point, Bill. Also, they are red, which implies blight, and the statue even says the prison is broken and darkness encroaches on us. I wonder if she was referring to Solus's blight prison that we learn about in Veilguard. I think that's 1 Inquisition reference and 2 Veilguard references right there. We even get a line from the statue later saying the darkness has stopped for now. Mike Laidlaw, a lead writer at BioWare for the first 3 games, did mention that her prophecies were not random and there was something to them. Some writer at BioWare must have been playing the long game after all this time. This is insanely relevant.
Oh, right, because the blight is like this evil magic the elven gods use and that egg-shaped dude's soul is sealed away. Why would the statue know about all that, though?
Because the statue is a Tevinter and Mage Glazer, George, and therefore cannot be trusted.
Thank you, Mage Racist Donald, for your insight.
Good question, George. So the statue was a royal advisor to the Archon of the Tevinter Imperium. Hence why Donald dislikes her. She was an advisor because she had the inherent ability to see visions of the future. She became a statue, however, because she foretold of the Archon's death, which he didn't like to hear because he was kind of full of himself. He apparently ripped out her soul and placed it in a statue and put the statue at the entrance of his castle so that passerbys could hear her yapping instead of him.
Kind of a crazy crash out, but what happened to the Archon?
Oh, he died, and his entire fortress was destroyed too. The statue remained and was eventually moved to Kinloch Hold, now known as the Circle of Magi we are standing in now, where the Tevener Empire conducted magical experiments. Until the Alamari kicked them out of Ferelden entirely, they kept the artifacts here, though, since the place was haunted, too dangerous for even treasure hunters to approach. That is, until Ferelden needed a new circle. Then the Chantry did their best to clean up the tower and make it their mage home.
More like Mage Prison Center, but that's a discussion for a future game. Let's just say that moving their circle here wasn't exactly a high IQ play, since veiled tears like this one happen frequently, and also Enforcer's Blood Mages to go on a rampage too, as we see in the base game of Origins.
Damn, magic gets complicated as hell in this setting. This is why I prefer D&D, where magic is just a thing people accept can do cool shit and leave it at that most of the time. I imagine playing a tabletop Dragon Age game as mages gets pretty complicated.
It would, but the mage player would have to keep magic under wraps with proper roleplay elements. Our editor recently bought a rule book for the Dragon Age role-playing game, if you wanted to take a in-depth look. I'm sure if anyone could handle making an accurate Dragon Age D&D session, it would be our presidential DM, George.
The glaze is insane, but I would actually love a tabletop Dragon Age game with the boys. Some of the rules they have are really unique, and if you simply flavor a few homebrew systems from D&D or Pathfinder, it could be a really fun time. I would even forgo being a horn dog if you did that.
All right, but Bill, you would be on thin goddamn ice if we did, but I'll have to borrow it and take a look. Anyways, back to the gameplay here. Donald, this really does look like a victory tour. You are goddamn destroying these veiled tears like they got oil.
Thank you for noticing, George. That's why you are my favorite. POTUS has such a min-max build at this point that everything here is easy money, especially the little mages they summon, which can actually be killed. It sucks. There doesn't appear to be a boss here, but I'm sure the run is still young. I'm bound to push ahead in the boss competition.
Oh yeah, Donald, you definitely got this, man. It's anyone's game.
Yeah, don't roll insight on that or anything. Let's just cut ahead. I think the viewers get the point of these fights now.
Wait, are you two sweating? What the hell is going on? The vibes just shifted a bit when I mentioned the boss competition.
Oh well, I just got a sneaky link text, so I'm a bit flustered.
I was just left speechless at how base POTUS cleared house in the basement. It was really that impressive.
I see. Good point, George. It was really impressive. Well, here's that line you mentioned about the darkness clearing. Do we have any other lore to dispense, Barack? We still have plenty left to do in this DLC. Maybe you want to tell us what the statue's favorite dessert is or something?
Oh, Godberry, please tell me my girl Ariane likes ice cream. I really need a win here. Hell, even if the statue likes it, I might take a shot her voice is doing something to me.
Honestly, same.
Okay, for the last time, all of you need to find God. As for lore, we know almost nothing about the history of the statue except what it tells us, but we do know a little bit about our two companions, Ariane and Finn. Ariane is the most skilled hunter in her clan, which is interesting since she uses dual-wield swords instead of like a bow, so I guess she just goes the Skyrim method of outrunning a deer and stabbing them. We know a lot more about Finn himself. His father is a magistrate from Western Hills, and unlike most mages who lose contact with their parents, when they go away to the Circle Tower, Finn keeps in regular contact with his parents, likely because of his father's political connection.
So basically, you only get to see your kids again. If you have enough political clout to stand out, sounds perfectly fair.
Unless you are in Kirkwall, then your political influence means jack shit, of course.
Okay, calm down, you two. We are all presidents. We are the last people to be complaining about unfair treatment due to political clout.
All right, that's a good point, Donald, but boys, we left out one companion to talk about, and they have the best character development in the series. In the most base character development in the franchise, our dog from Origins spent the last year after helping us, killing the archdemon, getting absolutely freaky with multiple fine Mabari bitches, siring the entire next generation of Mabari for Ferelden.
Still would have liked him in Awakening like many others, but I'm glad my boy Bo had a good time.
Oh boy, guys, we are going to another tag. That means we have a chance to see more base dwarves. Let's go. Wait, hang on, that line sounded ominous as hell. What did she mean by that?
I know it sounded like the statue meant Finn dies at the end here, but no, it's nothing dramatic like that. She just phrased it ominously. She just meant they won't speak again because he won't return to the tower once he leaves with us because he finds a love of adventuring and decides to keep exploring with his new elf girlfriend.
Joe, did you just dispense lore on your own? How the hell did you even do that? And who the hell writes this shit?
I gave up on that shit, Bill, like 4 months ago. Just let it go. I will say it is pretty crazy. No one in the Circle Tower like the Templars thought to round Finn up. when he never came back, especially since they have his phylactery. But given how terrible most of the Ferelden Templars are at their jobs, I can't be too surprised.
I mean, it sounds like that he has permission to go. Maybe it's just like those nice European prisons where you can leave and come back whenever you feel like, and it's about making the criminal happy or some shit.
George, I think you might have a warped view on how European prisons operate. I apologize to our European viewers.
I don't Texas #1, and everyone else needs to get their shit together.
So it's weird how you can mention asking Hadley for permission just to be on the right side of the Chantry laws if you want to do it. Then Hadley doesn't even mention it. He just gives you money and tells you to look after Finn.
Templars in Ferelden are not based enough. I seriously can't wait for the other game to show some actually competent Templar warriors. At least he helps us get our bag up to flex on our wife shortly.
So here is the second interaction that a Dalish Elf Warden gets for Witch Hunt. We need Dalish Elf blood to find the lights of Arlathan, which are needed to form a connection with the crossroads and find the nearest Alluvian that Morrigan is located. We have to use Ariane's blood since she is a Dalish elf and therefore at least biologically similar to the Arlathan elves. If we are a Dalish Warden, she will ask why Finn can't use our blood, and he will mention that because we are a Grey Warden, our blood would no longer work since we are tainted.
Kind of ironic considering the owners of the Alluvians, the Elven gods, were already blighted, but I doubt they wrote that into existence. At this point, I remember when we talked about the Mage Warden's phylactery no longer working being a plot hole, but some of our viewers pointed to this conversation about our blood being changed, and that's probably a valid take, especially since that would explain why Templars throw such a huge fuss about giving mages to the Wardens. The only point against that is Anders himself wanting to take out his phylactery despite being a Warden.
Anders might have just been confused, or the writers needed a side quest for him. It's really hard to say. I'm surprised you're not putting up a bigger fuss about us using blood magic, Donald. I haven't heard you offering to suplex Finn or slam dunk him into the garbage. I'm genuinely surprised.
Oh, well, it's like Finn said, it's a gray area. I can't get upset over every use of blood magic, can I? Sometimes it's part of the grind.
My insight check is smelling something off about this, boys.
Yeah, you didn't even need to roll for that, George. Donald is only okay with Finn using blood magic because it's going to help him find Morrigan.
Eat a dick, a guy can't have hobbies sleeping?
Calling your love of Morrigan a hobby is like calling Diddy's massive amount of baby oil a small collection.
Hey guys, we've been traveling around this dungeon for a while. Where are all the base dwarfs?
Yeah, Georgie, this is just a combat dungeon. There's no conversations or dwarves here. I think it's time we address the elephant in the room about this DLC. Just like in Amgarrick, the maps used in Witch Hunt are all recycled from the base game in Origins. The only difference is Amgarrick at least tries to change the look and design of dungeons, while Witch Hunt embraces the fact that these are the same maps we have been to for, and even embraces that fact by making jokes.
It also doesn't help that the enemies aren't anything different from the base game except for the final battle. Mommy Morrigan absolves all the sins of this otherwise mid-DLC, though.
Yet if you're a massive Morrigan enjoyer, then this DLC is top tier. It has arguably her best scene and an absolutely peak end to the romance too. However, besides the last 10-minute scene with Morrigan, this DLC doesn't really offer you much, just the same maps you already have fought through. And the only unique interactions the DLC offers is if you are a Circle Mage in a Dalish Elf origin. The only saving grace every Grey Warden gets is the library section, but that's only if you want to interact with the lore in this world.
Some people might like the companions more so in this DLC than the other special episodes, since at least they gave them some connection with the party banter and a backstory. I mean, Tug and Dace were cool, but we literally never learn anything about their personalities except through the Codex in one conversation.
You take that back about my goat Tug.
That's really stretching things, Joe. I mean, the banner's nice, but the only person I'm even invested in is Bo. These two could get taken out by rocks, and I wouldn't bat an eye.
Well, not the rocks. I need a moment of silence for my friend Bob gone to soon, Big Buddy.
Who the hell is Bob? Am I having another episode again?
No, we don't need to go into that. To change the topic here, since Donald is just going to kill some guys for a few minutes, we have comments to feature from Episode 5 in Ambarak as well, and we even have 3 super thanks to get through as well. Like always, we do the special episodes differently, so we won't go in depth with a comment question, but to give you all one to debate in the comments who is your favorite party pet in the series between Barkspawn the Dragon Age Tumabari and Asan the Baby Griffin. But with the comment question asked, Joe mind starting us off here.
Sure thing, Barry viewers, our featured comment from Episode 5 of Awakening comes from Ella202, whose original perspective of the Architect decision compared them to the Rachni decision for Mass Effect 1. This is a really good take comparing the Darkspawn to Rachni. Both were enemies in the game. But if they were given the chance to think for themselves, they might be a huge boon to the world. They also said that our rap sheet against the architect last episode cemented their stance against him, however, so I'm glad we could give you a new perspective, and thanks for your comment, and for giving us a new perspective too.
Good shit, Joe. I'll go next. Our featured comment from our Amgarak special episode comes from Olololan, who gave us 2 answers for their hardest boss fight, making a tie between the Harvester in Emberak and the Rock Wraith in Dragon Age 2. Both these fights have challenging and interesting mechanics, so that's a base take. He also gave a shout out to the Arishok fight in Dragon Age 2, which I agree is just as hard as the other 2, but for all the wrong reasons. Thank you again for your comment, Lunan. Can't wait to hear your answer to today's comment question.
All right, now it's time to praise the elite of the elite with the super thankers. First off, we have another super thanks from Troy Boy. Ironic that these guys shouted you out for your big donation in that episode, and you came right in with another one. Troy has earned the pinned comment twice in a row now, which is insane. So thank you so much for supporting the channel above and beyond. We are truly grateful, and you truly know the art of the deal.
Here we have another familiar donation on the boys' first episode of Veilguard with George Gale. Gale, you are truly a backbone viewer of this channel, and may all of your dice rolls be natural 20s. Thank you for supporting the base series of Veilguard from one George to another.
Finally, we have a super thanks from Dr. Strauss on our Dead Space special episode. Again, we never expect support like this, but we thank you, and you definitely have the popular vote in the comments, with the Plasma Caster being your favorite. And keep on the lookout. We will definitely be making Joe play more Dead Space in the future.
Please don't remind me, I can't believe people actually donated to the Pants Changing Fund.
I told you they would, Sleepy, but you really doubted the inventor of the art of the deal anyways, boys. My boss counter is climbing higher and higher after killing all these elf ghosts. So now we just have to do a little ritual on the broken mirror, and Mommy Morrigan will be all mine.
Good work making this boss competition competitive. Still, Donald, this is probably the least bloody of episodes I've seen so far.
Well, we finally get the scene we have been talking about all this series. Viewers, if you keep Morrigan's ring in your inventory throughout the entire game, Ariane will mention it here, and you can give your warden some amazing roleplay reasons for why they have kept it all this time.
I'm pretty sure if you don't have the ring, the dialogue changes a little here, and she just asked why we want to find Morrigan so bad.
Yes, but I would never give up a gift from my wife. We also get the chance to be called a good boy by Morrigan later on for keeping the ring. So I'm damn well keeping it.
Yeah, no, being called a good boy by a goth baddie is a man's true physiological need, my dudes.
You goddamn gooners need to find the Lord.
As me and Bill have already said, we have found God, and she is a woman commonly known as the Lady of the Forest. And Morrigan...
Got to include my girl Valena on that list too, boys.
Excellent point, Joe. Also, Barack, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this dungeon unique to this expansion? I don't think we have been here before at all in this game.
Well, POTUS has never been here before, but if we had chosen the Dalish origin, we would have entered this ruin twice during that origin. Same as the Circle Tower basement, so everything in this DLC is a confirmed reused asset. Bill add 2 more strikes to the Veilguard counter in this dungeon, though because there are 2 major references we have to talk about here. First off, there are statues all over this place of Falon Din, the god of the dead, in the Elven pantheon, so it's safe to say this may have been a home base of Falon Din, which is why an Alluvian was even here.
Not having the elven version of Hades appear in Veilguard sounds like a massive fumble, I can't lie.
That is facts, George, but we will cover that more later. The second reference to Veilguard is the mirror we find being blighted. I wonder if that was actually intentional by the Elven pantheon, since Tamlin mentions seeing a city underground and then pure blackness. Originally, this was thought to be a Dwarven Tig, but now I think he was seeing the Black City and the prison Solas built. This mirror might have been linked to Arlath originally and was blighted intentionally as an experiment. When Solas sealed Arlathan and the Elven pantheon, the mirror was able to have a partial connection to the Black City enough to blight Tamlin and the Warden when they interacted with it. It clearly wasn't enough for them to escape, but it might have been enough to have partial influence in the world before Duncan smashed it, of course.
So smashing the mirror was probably the right call, after all, if the Elven gods were just using it to mess with people and blight them. That probably means Meryl shouldn't try to restore the mirror if it can just release blight into the world, unless she can pull a Solas and unblight the damn thing.
Meryl is a blood mage of goddamn course. She can't be trusted, you goddamn simp. But don't worry, when we get to Dragon Age 2, you will see the light.
Wait, what?
Meryl has been a bad girl, but don't worry, boys. There are plenty of ways to punish her if you all catch my meaning. Also, there's another unique scene we can get here if we pick the base Dalish elf origin Ariane, will ask us what happened the day we came here with Tamlin, and we can reflect on how far we have come, and if we had any regrets over what happened with our friend. It's a really nice scene and is one of the few times a warden gets to reflect on everything that has happened, and how far they have come since then, and it sucks only Dalish elves get that.
Well, damn, Bill, is Dalish Elf your favorite origin, too? That's a beautiful analysis.
Well City Elf is actually my favorite, but Dalish Elf is a close second. The based elves just have a lot of great role-playing opportunities, boys.
Damn, boys, we are smacking demons left and right like we are playing classic Doom. Why do these guys have beef with the mirror anyway?
Well, this mirror in particular has a connection with the Fade, and the ritual we are doing is decently powerful. So this is like a demon's wet dream right now.
That's my boy Barry. Who cares about phrasing anymore?
Am I bleeding? Oh, look, a rip in my robe.
This dude really just fainted over a damn drop of blood? That is the most bitch-made robe activity I can think of.
At least you know he is definitely not a blood mage, because if he was, bro would be fainting mid-combat.
Well, the waifu has been located, boys, our prize awaits.
Oh, looks like I have to retract the praise I gave at the end of Awakening Joe. What you said about the mirror being in the mother's lair wasn't just a theory, it's outright stated by Finn that this is why the mirror is here, and it was moved intentionally by Tevener.
Well, I didn't know that, so I think I still deserve the credit, but go off Queen.
My God, these two are chatty Cathys. They never stop yapping.
To be fair, Donald, this conversation here about Finn's parents is pretty relevant, since when Finn doesn't return to the Circle, his parents send mercenaries to try to bring him back to the tower, since the Templars won't. Finn and Ariane drive the mercenaries off, then confront his parents to say farewell.
No, they adore me. In fact, I'm sure my name is a result of overwhelming love replacing good sense.
And goddamn, they should call this game Bone Age instead of Dragon Age, because there's a shit ton of bones everywhere you step.
Bone Age is more appropriate. Then you realize, Georgie.
Well, the bones serve a nice lore purpose to tie everything together, George. See, the remains of powerful creatures like dragons have very potent magic to them. They are often used in rituals as a result, because life energy has potent magic to it, as is the case with blood magic, for example. We often see mass grave sites like this used as research areas and ritual sites. This is likely why an active Illuvian is even here the magic of the dead dragon bones, kept it preserved.
That's some praise we can give BioWare. Here they did at least think of rational reasons for reusing these areas. It just sucks we only get one thing completely unique to this DLC, and it's the final boss here.
Using basic pattern recognition, I assume the final boss of this game was another preview of a creature that would be present in Dragon Age 2.
Damn, Georgie, you're taking more of this in by the second. You're a real pro of how EA bends us over.
Please don't say it like that, you damn gooner.
Just have to add a few more baby dragons to my kill count first. Maybe I can make a nice little dragon hat for my wife, since that's going to be her new style. Also, are these guys here the same cultists we met with the urn?
Well, we have no evidence they are, so it's more likely they are just another group that really likes dragons. As Joe said, though, final boss time, Donald time to focus up.
Oh, please, like I would be scared of a tree, spider, snake thing. Wait, what the hell even is this thing?
It's obviously the elf version of a pit bull, but immortal.
You basically are all correct, at least partially. These guys here were created by Dirthman, the elven god of knowledge. He created it out of Arlathan trees to fight dragons attacking the elven people. The Vardal's body is made of heartwood like our shield. It has many legs, spits poison like a spider, and has a snake head with the ability to feel vibrations in the ground like a snake. They are also immortal as long as they are told to guard something, in this case it's awake, because Morrigan reactivated the Illuvian.
The immortality is similar to the archdemons, so I wonder, given what we know about elven gods and blight, that maybe the process to make Vardals immortal is the same as making archdemons immortal. Maybe even these guys were the prototype for archdemons.
That's not a bad theory at all, Bill, that is incredibly likely. Another possible theory is they are living constructs and therefore can just reform over time, since they aren't truly alive.
Wait, hang on, I just redid the math in my head. If this is the final boss, then that means I have 28 bosses, so I'm tied with goddamn Sleepy Joe. How many bosses did you get in your special episode, Barack?
Oh, hey, Obama, what kind of trees was this spider guy made of again? That sounded important.
I guess it's all Joe ever now.
Now, what the hell is going on? You assholes have been hiding something this entire goddamn time as your current president. I demand answers.
All right, I guess it's time to show our hand. Donald, I killed 10 bosses last episode in my special episode, which means once you kill the Vardal roll, you and Joe will coincidentally be tied for second place at 28 and me coming in first with 35.
Nah, Screw this, I have to go replay the boss battles in Awakening to catch up. This is totally rigged. You knew exactly what DLC to play at the start when we made this competition. I refuse to abide by this. You stole bosses somehow, didn't you?
Donald, you can't just say everything is stolen when you lose what is this 2020. Barry outplayed both of us here. We got to accept that. We sat down just yesterday, and I congratulated you on winning the presidency this year. It's time for you to do the same and be presidential with me in holding this L.
Nah, screw you for that, Sleepy. You lured me to the White House with promises of McDonald's and Mortal Kombat 1, and instead it was a live press conference for publicity. I wasn't prepared for cameras that day, you asshole. I looked spaced as hell. Which is where all of you can go, by the way, if you think I'm conceding this.
Oh, come on, Donald, I hate admitting defeat as much as the next guy, but you have had a great run both on and off the court this year, and despite your 5 deaths, you know you gave it your all. Obama is the one who even brought us together here almost a year ago to play Origins. He has earned this.
All right, Donald and Joe, we are about to reach the Morrigan scene, but before we hit the epic finale, I want you both to say what you agreed to.
All right, Double D, I will go first for you. Viewers, Dragon Age 2 might have the best companions and offer a dark fantasy unlike any other, but Origins started us on this journey. And it has the baddest bard in the lands as a squad mate, Liana, so Origins, the best game in the series there, I said it.
All right, fine, God damn it. I have an image to protect here. Inquisition might be a fast-paced, badass, and cinematic RPG, but Origins actually lets you bang Mommy Morrigan and get a happy ending with her in more ways than one, so it's the best Dragon Age in the series there, I said it.
Good job, boys. I'm so proud of you. Dragon Age Origins is my favorite because it has a special
Yo, who the
place
hell
in
is
my
this
heart that
nerd?
could
Secret
never-
Service, we have an intruder in the White House. Get the bear mace.
Yeah, for real, save the yap for Inquisition and Veilguard analysis.
All right, thank you, boys. Hopefully the waifu wars in Veilguard can go as smoothly.
Oh my God, the smell in the air and the elegance and indifference and the vibes. I can feel it coming over me now, boys.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you sometime, and I'm gonna spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us, you and I.
Oh, hell yeah, Double D, sing it.
All right, Donald, calm down. We don't want to get flagged by YouTube.
A dwarf, a dog, and his wife. Is there anything else a man could ever want, boys?
Oh God. Magi finns till för att tjäna människan och aldrig för att härska över henne. Ful och korrupta är de som har tagit
Donald, I
hans
respect the
gåva
gooning,
och
but we have
vände
come
det
all
mot
this way.
sina
Focus
barn.
up, brother,
De
and tell her
ska
how you really
heta
feel.
maleficar. Oh my God, Bill, you're right.
Wait, is that all it goddamn
Morrigan, you
took?
are better than the air I breathe. Me running and winning the presidency, I did it all for you. I would do anything for you. When I invented the phrase MAGA, it was supposed to be Morrigan's amazing goddess aura. People just kept misquoting it, and it stuck. I am nothing without you. This series is nothing without you. I no longer want to be paragon of America. I just want to be paragon of your heart.
Damn, Donald, that was goddamn beautiful. I can see how you get away with cheating on every one of your various wives now.
I'm going to have to write all this down the next time Hillary goes through my phone, Donald, that was smooth like butter.
If only you could roleplay this hard as Pally Donald when we played D&D, but I guess better late than never.
Well, here we can check off the last few Inquisition and Veilguard relevant hints, with both the Flemeth conversation and the talk about Kieran being a herald of change. Though BioWare let that last part fumble, Kieran doesn't become a herald of change at all. BioWare forgets about him.
Oh shit, I almost forgot we were supposed to be looking for our son, too. I got too caught up in the lore. Kind of crazy we can't meet him in this game.
BioWare didn't want to animate a baby model, especially not when all the Morrigan simps will just be happy to see her again.
Well, at least this went better than the last baby mama revelation.
In the case of 1-month-old Kieran Donald, you are the father!
Wait, Maury, I wasn't questioning the paternity of this child. We were all in agreement this time.
Well, then how the hell did I get this envelope here? Someone submitted the paternity test.
Sorry, Poe, I couldn't resist a second. These guys told me a kid was involved. I had to do it to them.
Damn, the whole gang is here now. Maybe I should try to summon Themey while I am at it.
Okay, haha, funny joke, George. Now, everyone, please shut the fuck up. My wife is about to give us exposition.
Immortality, and yet I was wrong. So very wrong. She is no blood mage, no abomination. She is not even truly human. The ritual was but a means to an end, a herald for what is to
And what is to come is a whole lot of push-ups and review bombs.
Change is coming to the world. Many fear change and will fight it with every fiber of their being. But sometimes change is what
This girl loves talking about change. Did Obama write her script or something?
Oh my God, George! I hope your house is made of steel beams because I'm about to set it on fire.
Too soon.
Well, boys, looks like Morrigan is done yapping, and it's time to close this chapter of Thetis once and for all.
Loud, incorrect buzzer noise. I promised the viewers this series would end when POTUS steps through the Morrigan Mirror with his wife, and by God, if I had to fulfill Barack's stupid competition. 5 minutes ago, I am damn well making sure we end this series with a happy ending for POTUS.
Yeah, after everything and everyone POTUS has helped, he damn well deserves some retirement with his wife and child.
My love, we will face the future together.
Got to give Origins this. If you kept the Warden alive with a romance, they probably get the happiest ending out of any of the 4 protagonists in the franchise.
Oh, baby, just a little longer. I am almost there.
Same, Donald, same.
Your gooning is ruining this ending. Just let BioWare cook here, boys.
I have no idea what is going on, but it feels like a true storybook ending, boys. Good work. This is far better than ending on tentacle hentai.
Oh my God, boys, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Origins might have the best ending in the series. I'm actually so goddamn happy our short king pulled and gets to have a happy ending with his wife.
I almost feel kind of empty now. I mean, I know I should say, don't be sad, it's over, smile, because...
Joe, don't you ruin this perfect moment with that cheesy Hallmark bullshit. Obama, do what you do and yap out a proper closing.
Well, I know Origins is mine and a lot of people's favorite Dragon Age, and I also know a lot of people have hated the direction we have with Veilguard. But I think we should all take the line Morrigan said about change to heart going forward. We might never get a game like Origins again, and that might make us feel sad or afraid, but sometimes change is what we need most. Sometimes change helps us grow and see new perspectives, both in content creation and our personal life. Even if we might prefer how things are now, maybe this change will open us up to something new and truly set us free. I know Veilguard isn't anyone's favorite game.
Speak for yourself.
All right, Veilguard isn't most people's favorite game, and it is a depart from the series, but just from playing Witch Hunt, I see plenty of lore setups that the game has stayed faithful to, and honestly, it's an imperfect but fun game. No matter if you enjoy the changes or not, I can promise that no matter what happens, we will keep bringing you all banger content in the world of Thetis. The lore yaps won't ever end.
The true Renegade and Highballs gameplay will be eternal.
The dark fantasy ballads and bard-loving charm will never stop playing.
Your presidential dungeon master will still narrate and ask for perception checks.
And based Bill's takes will never change.
And I will be here too.
Well, once again, we are back where we began.
Viewers, thank you all for watching our Dragon Age Origins series. Right now, we are playing Veilguard, so the next episode will be viewing my maiden voyage into that game, exploring Arlathan Forest. But don't worry, we still plan on covering the entire Dragon Age series. So after Veilguard, we still have Dragon Age Inquisition.
We also have Dragon Age 2. Don't worry, the fans of every Dragon Age will eat good.
Whatever game we play next, we just want to thank every single one of you, from the original viewers to the new people we picked up along the way. We truly couldn't do this without all of you, and we are happy to bring our amazing community with us into a new series. But for now, stay safe, Obama out.
Biden out.
Trump out.